Well, howdy. Here we are. What is it? December the 14th. December the 14th. Trust everybody's fine. And looking at our friends down south in the States, it's sort of a conundrum. Although we're not pointing fingers, because we have a conundrum in Canada as well. And I suppose when you sort it all out, it goes down to integrity, honesty, and the rule of law. And obviously, in both countries, that's sort of gone out the window, I guess, a long time ago. Most of us have been sucking the tit of CNN or CBC or any of the mainstream media. And of course, now the so-called experts of the techie companies, the Three Stooges. And if we've been sort of on that tit too long, we really don't know what the hell's going on, do we? Stateside, it's going to be interesting. And in a sense, maybe a bit foreboding as well. Now, when I say Canada, I mean our government hides scandals under the rug, closes parliament so they don't have to answer questions, all sorts of craziness. More interested in the New World Order of things than they are about the country of Canada. And they give us the pretense that they are, but they're full of shit. When you just look at what they do, not what they say. Our Prime Minister keeps on telling us how we're systemically racist and white privileged. And the only one that is systemically racist and white privileged is the guy giving the speech. It's sort of sad. But I'll see if I can get a couple of links to add in today, like we usually do. And, the fraud, the manipulation, the lack of integrity that the U.S. election is sort of popping forth is sort of incredible. But I guess like a boil, every boil comes to a head and pops. And I think that's where the democratic free enterprise system is. We have a lot of people sort of fed up with that and are looking to go into a socialist utopia. And they just don't realize what the hell they're talking about. This idea that you will own nothing and be happy is really... I guess some hippies in the 60s thought that too, but not all the hippies in the 60s thought that. We were still realistic. It was to join a commune and share everything was not everybody's idea of the way you were going to unfold as a human being. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But there's still some people today who are banging that drum. And some of the leaders of that way of thinking, again, you listen to what they're saying, but look at what they are doing. Look at their backgrounds. Where do they come from? And what are they doing? It's sometimes we just don't want to take the time to do that. And it's interesting. One of the really driving factors of that is Obama himself. And that was evident when he left the White House and moved down the street and opened up a high secure office. The guy was up to no good. Well, maybe he thought it was good. And if you're a socialist wanting your badge so you can become a communist, maybe you think he was good too. But we'll see. It all works out in the wash. When the boil pops, you see what happens. Sometimes you get a scar, sometimes you don't. But I think it's come to that point in North America. And we have to decide whether we're going to just be a cog in the wheel, a slave for the globalists, or are we going to be our own people? And it's harder to be your own person. It's harder to live on. I often tell people, unions and people striking and people doing all this shit looking for everybody to look after them. Why don't you go on a straight commission job with integrity and honesty, not be a bullshitter? And if you can make it there, well, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know, I think, you know, right now we're too underworked, overpaid, and overfed, and we've become the slugs that we are as a society in North America, and we're not going to miss it until it's gone. And it's interesting to note that there's some people with the brass and the determination not to let that go or to fight for it. You know, and I really totally agree with those people. And I know people who have come from all over the world to live in North America. And you know what? Most of those people would say the same thing. That's why they came here. They did not want to be a part of a communist socialist regime. They wanted the freedom to be themselves, do their own thing. And of course you have to have law and order. You can't all go willy-nilly crapping all over the place, but within reason. You don't have to have a bureaucracy controlling your every step. You know, and that's what we've let it become in Canada. I mean, that is so tight it squeaks. And so it's interesting to see how the U.S. is going to go. And, you know, we're trusting there's enough strength that they're going to do the right thing. And of course, by doing the right thing, do the right thing to all of those people without character, integrity, just padding their pockets, working with other countries against their own country. I mean, that's sort of crazy, really. Sort of crazy. But anyway, we'll have to see how this all pans out. There's a couple of days to go yet. I think all shit's going to hit the fan, though, eventually, one way or the other. And we'll see. Hey, look after your finances, because states goes down, a lot of shit's going to happen. And it's strange, you know, you listen to a lot of people who really are experts, not just quoting that they're talking about relying on science and experts. These are the experts. And they're not sure what's going to break, how things are going to roll. Because the people who are chasing that political ring are not, for the most part, aren't experts, don't have the population at large at heart. They have themselves at heart, and their own egotistically power and money sort of thing. They want the rest of us to own nothing and be happy while they collect from us. Sort of strange, and I find it even stranger that there's people believing in that fairy tale bullshit. But anyway, short one today. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.